to is basically going to open up extra maneuverability for Flash. Meanwhile, 6 of, what is that, 4 dropships out there. And he does not want to lessen his force on the ground overall. I think he's actually going to reinforce his upper right-hand position a little bit. He's also retaking his 3 o'clock, so I think, I'm not quite sure whether that command center is up there yet or not. Flash meanwhile going to start turning up all over the place, mining up, just keeping those tanks on the ground as well. So in case those drops come in, he's going to be ready. And you see at the upper right-hand position, Hwasin finally starting to fully mine there. Still has 4 dropships around. Might want to try to do something with that. If Flash decides to take up the 1 o'clock, 12:30 position, I guess, then Hwasin might try to go out there and pick that off. Has some bit of a presence, I guess, at the eastern side of the middle of the map. Those are mostly just a few tanks and his dropships out there, so he does not want to sacrifice much. Might want to go and reinforce that upper right hand. Now some mines that did not go off, unfortunately. A lot of dropping with only 2 dropships. Flash comes in there with the ground army as well and picks this up. Forces a foot for Hwasin here. Hwasin coming in very late with reinforcement, being forced to force his CVs away, and I think, yeah, commands are going to go down with those Goliaths. Never mind, Charon boosters, not necessary in this case. Commands are going to go down, so Hwasin being completely dominated. So Flash just 1 step away from a 2-0 win in the round of 16. No worries here for him. No worries whatsoever here for him. He's just going to take himself 1 step closer to an MSL win. He definitely playing just his standard strong self, really. Nothing much else to say. Hwasin still has a larger dropship fleet, but unfortunately just does not have the forces to use it with. He just does not have the army to keep those dropships, active at all times. Because if you go out there and he loses the forces in charge of the dropships actually fleets gonna now meet each other. But if he goes out there and loses the forces inside of those dropships, that is gonna mean that he's really gonna weaken himself in a position of the map that he does not want to. Flash at this point 4 dropships. So Hwasin thinking of going for a drop, but overall not in a very good position to do so. Tanks on the ground waiting for there to drop. A couple of turrets. Oh! Dropships barely managed to survive that though. For Hwasin still, obviously, really being controlled by Flash here. Going to try to pick up that upper right-hand position again. But Flash with Goliaths and tanks ready for him. So if you're going to try to go for a tank, it's going to be a little bit suicidal. He's going to want to move in with a ground army first, try to pick off those Goliaths, and then move in with the dropships. But Flash going to have reinforcements ready for that. Has an army moving across the ground. Has dropships as well. So I really don't think this attack is going to be a successful. Flash, pretty much in equal terms now. Going to go with dropships first. Going to lose a couple of those. Drop some tanks, but Flash with a response in seconds. Hwasin going to come in with ground army as well. We're going to siege him up. We're going to see how successful it's going to be. Still has some dropships out there, actually, I think, getting killed. It's going to be able to clear up most of this, though. But Flash is doing more reinforcement coming in from the ground. But I still think Hwasin's going to be able to clear up this position. But it's only it's only moments before Flash comes in here and cleans this up. Has more tanks across the bridge. Has those dropships. Is going to just needs to go out there and fill, because he's going to be able to. He has the forces to go out there and refill his dropships. He has the production. He has the economy. Also picking up the 12 o'clock position for himself. So Flash totally dominating this game. The double gas, the low left-hand position really coming in handy. Hwasin trying to pick up the inside 6, but I'm not quite sure how well he's going to be able to take that on hold, because as soon as Flash spots that, he's going to be able to take advantage of it. Hwasin yet again trying to push up with dropships and tanks, but still at this point, Flash now has a larger dropship fleet, so the only thing that was going to Hwasin earlier is just going to get picked up. Just going to start dropping in a line here with tanks. Pick off a lot of those tanks. Hwasin is also a tank moving from the north. Absolutely beautiful dropship play here from Flash. Going in just slow. He knows at this point just needs to keep the army count of Hwasin low, continue denying bases, and keep the army count low, and he's going to be in good position. Hwasin, meanwhile, has picked up the position at the upper right-hand position. Yeah, has actually picked up control at the upper right-hand position, but unfortunately he's just not floating his command center there. It's not quite mining anything from that position. And he's just in very bad shape, Actually, fortunate for him, he's going to now put up a defensive... He had a defensive perimeter at the 6 o'clock position. So we're going to see how strong that's going to be overall. Flash with a huge dropship fleet at this point. I think those are all full. Most of them anyway. Going to start mining at the 12 now. See a bunch of those CVs being moved around. And Flash, of course, with the usual insane micromanagement skills. Now going to see a drop. Going to come in. He just needs to hold off. This is actually 2 bases he can drop upon. He's actually going to go for this 4 o'clock. A little bit risky. Actually, oh no, he's going to go straight for the main. Oh, lordy. This is a Terran recall or something. Scan's going to come off. He's going to go for a full drop here. Just going to try to go for the production at this point. Didn't really need to do this. Feel a drop. This was kind of unnecessary, but he's just going to pick off some supply and production. But I really feel just economic damage would have sufficed. He really just needed to take control, but he's going to try to go for a partial finishing blow here. This, of course, is also going to make a massive distraction for Hwasin. He's going to be forced to come back home, clean this up, send a bunch of his forces that he needs across the map. He's going to open up a position for Flash again as well. Absolutely beautiful play for Flash. He can use this as a distraction, nothing else. I think he lost a lot of his dropships in this little farce of his. Well, actually, okay, never mind. He still has a lot of them out there. Now he's going to be able... Oh, yeah, see? Now these 3 and 4 o'clock positions are absolutely open to any sort of harassment. So Flash is going to drop on that. Just going to do a bunch of damage here. 3 or 4 o'clock position now going to be sacrificed to the gods. Flash going to basically take all the forces that Hwasin has left and crush them into liquid motor oil he's going to use for himself. I was searching for something to say and I found motor oil. Oh well, I don't know. After reading Russian literature for what has it been today, 10, 12 hours, something like that, it's just your mind's kind of numb to the world around you and what's happening right in front of you. So I apologize about that, people. Should actually be sleeping now, but I don't know. I'm awake, so surprised this game is actually still going on. Hwasin, of course, knows the minute he GG's is out of the tournament, but there's really no chance for him to get back into this game. He's being absolutely totally down. Almost no forces at his upper right hand. Being forced to pull his SCVs. They're not going to manage to do much at all for him, and Hwasin now has completely and utterly lost. He does not have the army or the forces engaging with SCVs at this point. Tanks coming in from the south, but they actually might be just enough to finish off the last of his tank force with the help of those SCVs. But of course, at what price? Flash going to move in with reinforcements, be able to mop this up as well, going to be able to deny that upper right hand finally and completely for the final time. And of course, this entire match, Hwasin has not managed to do any sort of economic damage to Flash at all. It's been Flash dominating the pace, Flash dominating the game, and Flash just dominating, pretty simply. It's what he does. But he's gotta say, Flash is looking strong overall, looking strong in the OSL, looking strong in the MSL, just looking strong as a player overall. Really liking his play lately. Gonna be able to pick up the upper right hand for himself, and this is just the final nail in the coffin here for Hwasin. He's not managed to pick up and hold enough bases this entire game. He picked up that inside 6, but that's been his only base that's gone unharassed this entire game because he has a presence there. And finally a GG coming in from him, so Flash going to pick up the win here and move on to the round of 8. Sorry for my lack of excitement, guys, but it happens sometimes. I'm just But yeah, solid win overall for Flash. I kind of hope that Hwasin would have gotten a non-TVT or non-TVT opponent, maybe a Zerg. Would have been a bit more exciting, I feel, but you take what you get. So Flash going to move on to the round of 8. And GG, guys, for wrenching out. That's listening. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. And I do apologize, but I'm going to try to get all those games out there on Tuesday and Wednesday before the round of 8 starts, which is on freaking Thursday, dear God. But we're going to have all games out there Thursday at the latest. So, later, guys. GG, as always.